Our next stand-up comedian, very, very funny individual. He spent some time overseas. His name is David the Bone Zone Cohn.
Got that nickname in elementary school. It's actually really awkward for me because my mom is in town in the back and she is a deaf cantaloupe. So not cool. Hello everyone, my name is David. My parents gave me that name. Deaf cantaloupe. My name is David, and my parents initially wanted twins, actually. I have an older brother, but they really wanted twins. And they got me instead, which is kind of cool. But I think they messed up, because David's not a name you give someone when you want twins. When you want twins and you get a single child, you should name them Charles, because that's plural. I have more. I thought of some of these. James, Miles. Yeah, I was also thinking there's James, Charles, or the hyphen names like Miles, James. Those would have been really nice. Every class I'm ever in, there's always like 12 Davids, and they always say David, and we all raise our hands, and then we look sheepishly at each other, and we all go make out. But I'm really trying to work on my social interaction skills. I think I'm getting a little bit better, but I'm still not awesome at it. I'm getting better though. I realize that there are certain things that are okay to say to people that you don't know too well, and there are other things that don't work quite as well. Apparently, we're okay to judge people's emotions with sight. That's the sense that you're allowed to use. You can say, wow, you look really happy today, what's up? You look really sad, what's wrong? What you can't do is you can't use smell for that. You smell really happy. You smell a little frustrated. Because you can say, you look like you're PMSing, but you can't really say it. Yeah, but I'm getting better at talking to people and relating. I realized that one of the things that was holding me back from making a lot of friends is I used to be like a grammar cop. Because both my parents are like these, intellectual, stuffed-up people. I hate parents. Right? Well, yeah. So I was raised, with, if I ever said anything grammatically incorrect, my dad would be like, "Really, David? Really, James Miles? I don't think so." So there was this girl I really liked in high school, and she was like, this really attractive blonde. I mean, I'm, just blonde and like fit and like a runner. And we were both on cross country, and I wasn't very fast, so I would always end up sort of lagging behind. It wasn't on purpose, but I'd end up running with the women, and I'm not sexist, but usually in sports, the men tend to be a little bit faster. So there was, okay, not always, I'm sorry. In this one situation, so in this one situation, it was just me and her, like, it was just a practice day, it was training, we were running around our neighborhood, around our high school, and it was just me and her, and we were out in the wilderness, and it was really nice. And I never said a word to her before, I was totally nervous, and I was just running, like, yeah, this is awesome, and she wasn't really looking at me, because she was like a few strides ahead. But I caught up with her, and I said something like, "Oh, isn't the neighborhood beautiful?" And it was starting to get into an area where there were more houses, more residential, out of the foresty area. And she said, "Yeah, there are less trees here." And I said, "Fewer." And she sort of did one of these. So we did not date. But speaking of words, because I love words, I recently, wait, I'm not done with grammar cop. One last thing. So I gave it up, right? Ex-grammar cop. I'm a crooked grammar cop. And what I realized I could do is it's all in the mind. You know how some people use the word like a lot? You'll hear it in class sometimes, the inarticulate buffoons, they'll answer a question, they'll be like, yeah, George Washington was like, general like, it gets a little old. But I like to think of it as they're just using a lot of similes. I'm an English major, so that's what I talk about. Because for similes you use like or as. Oh, it's Great. So I love words a lot, and I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited because I just found out the sexiest word in the world. And it's not the F word, so don't shout it out at me, and it's not panties. I used to think it was panties because, whoa. I used to think it was anything underwear related because that's like a really naughty word, but it's not. I realized that the sexiest word, and I'll explain, you won't get it right away maybe, but it's the word some. Now right off the bat, you say like, I'm getting some, it already means sex, so like check. It's a pretty cool word. But more than that, it has very transformative powers for anything. If you're going to a hardware store, like if you get, or an IKEA, let's say an IKEA, and if you get a table at an IKEA, that's not very sexy. But if you tell your friends later, yeah, I got some table, yeah, I got some chair, or some, just think about it later. The best example I can think of is if you try really hard, you can get ahead at work. But if you get some ahead at work, that's like a different. Yeah. Let's talk about something besides words, like the internet. I've noticed that it's gotten quite big, and the internet is getting too large. There's too many things on it. And I remember in the olden days, actually, let's go way back. In the old days, if you didn't know a word, you'd look it up in the dictionary. In the olden days, if you didn't know a word, you type it into Google sort of wrong, and it would be like, did you mean perspicacity? And